Benjamin Farabini. Basically, I got started with comedy by just watching stand-up comedians, thinking they were funny, enjoying what they do. A friend of mine who will actually be performing tonight as well was going to a local open mic in New Bedford, so I just started going there for the heck of it. Through that, I had found out about a comedy contest, so I participated in that. And then through that, I found out about tonight's comedy showcase, and I signed myself up. Many different comedians. I love people like Bill Burr, Louis C.K., Mike Birbiglia, Jim Gaffigan, Dane Cook, just to name a few.
Farabini!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I taught him everything he knows about saying my name. I like to get set up first, because if not, it makes it a little more difficult. But anyway, much like Frank, I've been going through some changes too. I recently became a male man. It's not a transgender thing or anything like that. I just switched careers. I deliver the mail now. So, before that, though, I worked at Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know if anybody here drinks coffee. Anybody? But I like to hear. That's why I was able to make it a career for 11 years. So, I have to say, summertime's coming, and that's literally my favorite time of year to work at Dunkin' Donuts, because one simple reason. When you, or any of you, order a medium or a small iced coffee, about 50% of the transactions end up something like this. Real quick, before I go, can I get a, I'm like, what? No, I'm like, I don't think I do that here. I just serve coffee.
This is actually kind of my first official show, so you get to see either a success or a crash and burn. We'll see what happens. I hope I could influence people to do what I'm doing, because it is a lot of fun. Definitely nerve-wracking at times, depending on where you are, what the room's like, but still a lot of fun. Life experience, I mean, that's basically the best thing. If you can't laugh, well, myself, be life experience. If you can't laugh at yourself and what goes on in your life, then it's going to be a long road for you.
So, I used to work at Subway too before that. So, first I was a coffee barista, then I was a sandwich artiste, and now I'm a mailman. That's a wonderful sounding resume, I think. It's got a nice ring to it. So, worked at Subway, and I had a lady come in one time. She ordered a medium sub, and I was like, no, we have either the 6-inch or the foot-long. And she was confused by this and asked me the typical question a lot of people ask me, how big is 6 inches? So I looked at her and I thought about it for a minute, and I said, well, something like this.
I don't really know. I mean, I just kind of take it step by step, see how it goes. If it goes well, then I keep up the good work. If, I start to feel like, I don't know if I belong here, then I just step aside. I'm just doing it for fun right now to see what it's like. Oh, I mean, it's definitely, I love to laugh, so I mean, without comedy in my life, I think it would be pretty dull and boring. The parts of life that get a little tough and a little rough without that sense of humor, without that ability to laugh, you kind of get sucked into the misery. And when it comes to comedy, it's not so much, but definitely like my interest in radio, broadcasting, communications, all of that comes from my dad. Even my sense of humor and my ability to laugh. So I guess I still can give him credit for that, because he always had a wonderful sense of humor, which he always made me laugh. No matter what it was. So, I mean, I really have to say, if it wasn't for him, I guess I probably wouldn't be doing this, because I probably wouldn't have a sense of humor like I do.
So also, when I'm not working, I was going to the gym for a little bit. I used to go to WOW, but now I go to Planet Fitness. But I realized they say WOW stands for Workout World, but I'm really thinking it stands for Wicked Obnoxious Weirdos, because, I used to go there and I'd see people, and one guy would get behind one of the machines and literally just grab it and start heaving it like this. So I didn't know what he was doing. I thought he was trying to redecorate the place, but he was doing a miserable job of it because he wasn't moving anything. But if I didn't see him working out, it was that other guy with the 80-pound dumbbells just hammering curls going and I'm like, what are you doing? Are you exercising your muscles or exercising your demons? Because we might have to get the priest back out of the locker room to help you out with that. But, the thing that amazed me the most about that is after he was done doing that for about 20 reps, he would just slam it on the floor. And I'm like, so you can handle that for 20 reps, but then doing this a little more than you can handle.
Who am I? Good question. My name is Derek Furtado. I am a stand-up comedian. And I used to go here to Bristol Community College. I think, I don't know how long ago. It might have been 15, 16 years ago. Yeah. And I remember being in this room, and it's, somewhat looks the same. When did I get started? I started doing comedy about 13 years ago, and it was shortly after I went here. And I remember just, coming to class and, joking around and all that kind of stuff. And every once in a while, somebody would make a comment like, "You should probably be a stand-up comedian." And I didn't even know what that meant, in a sense of like, well, how do you just like, hi, I'd like to apply for the job stand-up comedian. You guys have any applications or anything like that anywhere I can sign? I didn't know how people even did that. So finally, my father gave me like a thing, a little like a brochure thing that said that there was like an open mic somewhere. I went and did that, and then I couldn't stop. It was awesome.
Hello. Hi, how are you guys? This is great. I just want to start off by saying I just love, I don't know if anybody else enjoys this, but I love watching other people's relationships fall apart right in front of me. I don't know if anybody else. Do you guys, like, if it's not your relationship, isn't it? It is so much fun. I love, that's why sometimes I like going to IKEA. Right? And I'm not even there to get furniture. I just sit in a fake kitchen, and then I watch a real relationship fall apart in a fake living room. I love it. I love it. Oh, okay, a couple of people over there as well. Yeah, I enjoy it. You know what the funny thing is? I think you can tell how long people have been together depending on how they argue, right? Because people who haven't been together that long, they argue about dumb shit, like who's right. Who cares about that? If you're in a long-term relationship, it's not about being right or wrong. All it's about is about making the other person look like that's all it is. Right? That's it. Right? Out in public, that's all you got to do. And I think we do this subconsciously. If you guys are all in relationships, right, we do this subconsciously. But if we knew what we were doing before we got into any argument, you'd have total control every single time. It does not matter what you say. Doesn't matter. All you have to do, just raise your volume. Because when you raise your volume, what does the other person have to do? They have to match your volume, right? Like a 401k at work, right? You put in 3%, they match the 3%, right? And you just keep going, right? Keep raising it till you're both screaming on the top of your lungs, and then you be the first one to drop your volume all the way down, and then they lose minds.
Do I have anybody in my family that has like a background in comedy? No. I mean, I have some funny characters in my family, but nobody who ever, did anything with that kind of thing. But it's for me, I just I think it was like a way for me to get along with people because my father was in the Marine Corps, and we traveled around a lot. I had to move and be the new kid somewhere, and so I found the easiest way to get along with people was to just just to make people laugh. And so living in different places, from California, Hawaii to Virginia, Arizona, Massachusetts and Rhode Island, such different areas and different kinds of people. I kind of learned to find ways to make people laugh in different situations. Influenced me into doing stand-up? I don't know. I mean, I could just tell stories about how, like, I've come across stand-up comedy. I remember when I was a kid, I remember my parents had beta tapes, right? So little beta tapes. They're not VHSs right before then. And we had some recordings, these little, like, things that were written on the side of the tapes. And I think I was looking for, like, a Rudolph tape. I was in the mood to watch this Christmas, cartoon thing, right? And I found one that said Dice on it. And I'm like, all right, so, what's this all about, right? So I put it in, and I think I'm like, I want to say I'm like 6 years old or some shit, or some. Can you bleep that out? Yes. All right. So, and don't edit that. Keep this in, all of it, raw. Okay, good. Yeah, I was like 5, 6 years old, and and this guy is on there telling nursery rhymes. I know nursery rhymes. I just learned those. I'm actually more of a specialist on nursery rhymes because I'm 5, 6 years old, right? And now this guy is adding colorful words, right? Like all kinds of curse words. And I just learned that those are naughty because I accidentally said them a couple years ago and people laughed, right? 3 years old, 4 years old, whatever. Now it's like a no-no. But now I'm listening to this guy add these things to nursery rhymes. So for me, I don't know what he's talking about, but I think it's hilarious, you know? And it's just this guy standing there smoking a cigarette and just saying these horrible things in nursery rhymes. And that was like, you know, my introduction to stand-up. You know, I don't know if there's anybody that just influenced me in the sense of doing stand-up comedy. I liked all of them. I enjoyed watching stand-up comedy, but I think Patrice O'Neal, and he just recently, well, not now, it's been a few years, he's passed away. When I started doing stand-up, he was somebody that when I watched him, it was somebody who just made me forget I was doing stand-up comedy, and I could just really laugh and enjoy it without breaking things down. Because once you start doing it, you start to learn different things, and so he influenced me into trying to be somebody's a little more casual on stage and owning everything that I say. So yeah, I would say Patrice O'Neal, and for some reason, Andrew Dice Clay.
We've all seen it. We've all been there before, right? You just, it starts off a little casual. It's like, you're crazy. No, you're crazy. No, you're crazy. Why are you acting crazy? Motherfucker! You're like, I want to walk away from you, you crazy son of a... Oh, relationships are funny. This is funny, you know what I mean? And I do have to say, I think for a lot of guys, you know, out here, you know, if you're in a relationship and stuff, don't put all your eggs in the Valentine's Day basket. Okay? Don't put it in the Christmas basket, the birthday basket, the anniversary. Don't do that. You got to do things throughout the year. It's the little stuff. Women talk about it. They're little things. You have to do this because you know why? There's a difference. This is something that we don't know. As men, we don't know what it's like to be a woman. We really don't. We don't know what it's like for women to wake up every single day in a fight with another woman you haven't even met yet. We don't know what that's like. We don't know. I'm sure there's women that walked in here tonight and you saw somebody across the room and you're like, I don't like her. And you didn't even met her. You're like, I don't like that bitch. I don't like her. We don't know what that's like. Because that battle with other women, I see it. This is why women, sometimes when they get engaged and shit, they can be right-handed. All of a sudden they're engaged. They're like left-handed, right? They just start picking things up with their left hand. Oh, look at my new stapler. You see my stapler right here? You see all that? Look at this stapler. Because they have to show. They need to let other women know that they're in a committed relationship. Because being in a committed relationship means that you're not that crazy.
How long have I been doing it professionally? And how is it now that I'm doing it professionally compared to the first time I ever stepped on stage? Well, you know, you don't really make any money for the first few years, I'll tell you that much. And once you start making money, you're getting $25 for a gig, you're getting 50, just enough to put gas in the tank kind of deal. But you felt like a million. I can't believe somebody's going to pay me to go over and make these idiots laugh. You know what I mean? That's in the crowd, and it's a great feeling. But then you start kind of building something, and there's a worth there, I guess, and you make a little bit more money, and it gets to a point where if you start doing enough shows, it starts to become an actual way to support yourself. And so in the sense of doing professionally, yeah, I depend on the money that I make, from doing it, which is awesome. I like the dependency on it. You know what I'm saying? Forces me to keep on doing it even when you don't feel so great about it. But it's awesome right now. But in comparison to the first time I went on stage, that's everything you do for the first few years is just absolute crap. All of it's the worst. It is the worst. And the best way I can describe it, I don't know if it's no curse words, but slightly, it's like when you first have sex, the very first time you do that, I think it's like, sure, it's awesome. What a great feeling. Are you good at it? Probably not. You're probably the worst at it. But I don't think that stops any of us from that. You have that moment, you're probably horrible at it, but you're not like, oh, I'm not doing that ever again. You know, you're like, no, I want to keep doing this a lot and I want to get way better. And that's, you know, that's kind of like the way like just that adrenaline rush. It was just like, I can't get away from it. I want to find out how I can be really, really good at this, you know? So.
Honey, thank you for letting someone do this to me so we can have a child.
I gotta do something different here. It's the way I look here. No, that's not it. Maybe it's the way I'm saying. I gotta say something different here. Okay. Good morning, madam. I'm here to offer you services on child photography. That's alright. Maybe, Good morning, madam. I'm here to offer you services on child photography. Yeah, alright. That's what I'm gonna do. Alrighty. Alrighty. Oh!
God, it's him. I'm a nervous wreck. Oh, God. Let's get this over with.
Good morning, madam. I'm here to...
Oh, you don't have to explain. I've been waiting for you.
Oh. Really? Well, I make a specialty out of children.
That's what me and my husband are hoping for. Please come in. So, where do we start?
Well, leave everything to me. I figured that we would maybe try twice in the bathtub, once on the couch maybe, once in the kitchen, and you know, I figured we could do it right out here on the living room floor so you can spread out.
Bathroom? A living room floor? Wow, Harry never did anything like that to me before.
Well, madam, I can't guarantee a good one every time, but I'm sure if we try from different positions and I shoot from different angles, I'm pretty sure you'll be pleased with the results.
My, that's a lot of...
Madam, in my line of work, a man must take his time. I'd love to be in and out in about 5 minutes, but I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be happy with that.
That's the truth?
All right, well, let's see, if you take a look right here, this child right here, this one was done on a bus, right here. Oh, okay, and these were the twins. This one came out exceptionally well, considering the mother was very difficult to work with.
She was difficult?
Difficult? Oh, yes. She was so difficult, I had to take her to the park to do the job right. She started to scream, she started to squeal. I couldn't even concentrate. But then it started to get dark and I had to rush my shots.
Oh my Lord.
Well, madam, if you're ready, I would like to set my tripod up right over here.
Tripod?
Yeah, my tripod so I can rest my Canon on. Well, the Canon is much too big for me to hold on for a very long time. Madam.
Actually, a buddy of mine, another comic, and I, we teach comedy classes over at the Comedy Connection. And I don't want to say teach. That's a dumb thing. You can't teach. And that's what we say on the first day. If you think we're here to teach you how to be funny, well then, you know, that's not going to happen. What we can offer is just the idea of for people who want, like, maybe it's a bucket list. They want to do it for the first time, and they want to know how to go about doing it. And some people have been doing it for a little while, feeling they're a little disorganized, and maybe they won't